Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dungeon Talk. I know it's been a minute since I actually did a Dungeon Talk, but it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'm here with friends, FNH Paul and Queen Corvy, if y'all wanted to say hi.
What's up?
Well, there we go.
Hello there.
The angel from my nightmare.
Shadow in the background of the copyright strike.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna put music on in the background that y'all cannot hear, so. Benefits!
Rude.
I'm
That's fine, I'll
sorry.
do your shit.
I'm so sorry. Actually, I can like.
Are you? No, you don't have to. Don't do it. Just chill.
Just chill. You want me to share screen? This hot fire.
Unnecessary.
Is it gonna give me a seizure?
Thank you for the subscription, FNH Pod. Is it going to give you a seizure? No, it's not a jumping image. Okay. So, behind me is the August calendar, because that's the month that is coming up. We are going to talk about that a little bit today, but first, because I don't have my guests for as long as I would like, we're going to talk about a couple of things in question. So, Queen, you, my dear, have been putting on your DMing shoes recently. How have you liked
Yes.
it?
I gotta be honest, like, when I first started, I was very nervous. I didn't think I would do well. But, like, the more, like, one-shots I do, and the campaign that I've been doing with, that's not streamed, with all of you, my confidence in being a dungeon master has gotten... It's gone up. My confidence is just slowly starting to go up as the more we do.
I mean, as it should, because you're blowing it out of the water. I'm gonna start calling you Dungeon Queen, except that sounds really like, you know what I'm saying?
Like the other type of dungeon?
Yeah.
Oh no!
The other type of dungeon master?
Yes. Oh no. Do you have a whip in your hand? Oh no. We're doomed.
Is that a whip in your hand, or are you just happy to see me?
Or both.
Oh, for
So, I'm just waiting for like
I'm
DM
sorry.
Paul,
I'm
DM
sorry.
Paul, DM.
You are not sorry. Don't even go there.
Like, I'm sorry, like, that I do it. I'm not sorry that it happens or that it's funny. I'm more sorry that I'm putting you through it all the time. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry that you're a casualty to my chaos.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you happen to be on the receiving end of these jokes. Oh, I'm sorry, did that pause? Yeah. Did I linger on that pause a little too long?
While we're
Man, it'd be such a shame if I did that on purpose.
About Paul, you have a show that's debuting in August as well that is coming out. I think a week after Death Savers, but it's on Thursdays, so it's the opposite to our Final Fantasy days.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Would you like me to?
You want to talk about that a little bit? I mean,
yeah, sure.
Me and Queen are in it, so is Laura and awesome. Probably Oliver.
Mm-hmm. The one and only probably Oliver will be joining us as well. So the Legends of Noia is going to be I'm looking at the camera even though my camera's off. Good lord, I am way too accustomed to podcasting. So Legends of Noia is my first attempt at doing a ongoing campaign. It is in a homebrewed world where it is just a region. It is a continent with different regions that are all governed by different entities, yet they all kind of work and coincide with each other, like in harmony, in a big, beautiful harmony. And our lovely adventurers, I mean, it depends on what you guys do, but our lovely adventurers are coming from a few different places, all of which bring in their own little backstory to it, and I'm very much excited. This is definitely something that I've wanted to do for a while, but I've just never got around to actually doing it.
And I've
so
been
like
in
having
one-shots with you before, Paul. I mean, a couple. And I've seen you also do like one-shots, so you're not like new to the DM seat. This is like just your first time actually doing like a persistent campaign.
Yeah, persistent campaign, while also my first time really diving into it. As far as really kind of putting some thought and some care, I would say, into the world. Whereas, for the one shot, I didn't have to worry. Like my one shots, I didn't have to worry about that because it was like, you were just in one area, you were locked in there. That was it. There's no other things I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about governments, leaders, economy, what places are where, what people are from where. I didn't have to worry about any of that. It was just like, yeah, you guys are here. Well, what's this world? It doesn't matter what the world is. You're here. And so this one is like being able to actually like kind of extrapolate it out has been very interesting in the sense of I've had a lot of fun with it for the sheer fact that I've got to like kind of flex some muscles that I didn't know I had in the sense of like the world building, while also being able to just kind of have fun. And as you guys are asking me questions, talk to you as if I had all of this stuff planned out months and weeks and years in advance. Meanwhile, I'm making it up on the fly. So it's like...
That's literally like 90% of DMing is just coming up with shit on the fly.
And sounding confident about it. Yeah, because I mean, it's all improv. And so that's really what I'm kind of what I'm really looking forward to with this is having a improv kind of moment. I think it was going to be, I think it could be a lot of fun.
Right. For sure.
Yeah, so we got a lot of good players with it. We have a lot of the setting I think is really cool. I really like the way that the players set up their characters and how I'm going to try to like weave those together, because I've been watching a lot of I was watching a lot of Critical Role. I haven't picked up any of the new stuff, but I've been going back and watching a lot of Dimension 20, which I feel like was actually a really big benefit for the simple fact that though Matt Mercer and Brendan Lee Mulligan are both fantastic DMs in their own right, they both just DM in such different styles that it is like just kind of bouncing between those two. I'm like, oh, okay. So it doesn't have to be, the super serious thing. Like your DM can have just a ridiculous voice for no reason. Like you can just talk like a New Yorker for no fucking reason. Why? Because this character just for some reason sounds like somebody from New York. They don't all have to be old-timey, I come from a land of legend and myth. It's like, yeah, how you doing? What do you want? You want to buy something? All right. If you're buying something, then fucking let's buy it. Otherwise, get out of my face. You're just wasting my time.
But I really enjoy seeing that like through all of you all as being like a player in your various campaigns, because now I get to see like, oh, what's it like when Judgy DM, takes a back seat for a little bit and let somebody else, be the dungeon master. I still don't know if I'm as brave as like Chris Solo, where he's allowing me to be a DM in his world. Like, I don't know if I would let one of y'all do that just yet, because
I don't think I would be confident enough to do that, Hunty. Let's be fair. The bullshit that you put my character through and all of the lore that's in that world currently. Nah, fam.
The only reason why I would do it in a heartbeat. In a fucking heartbeat. But I feel like you would try to tell me that, like, bro, no, that's not.
But that's
what,
the thing.
what are you
when
doing?
you give the reins over, you're not the DM anymore. So, like, the stuff that they're making,
And that's the thing.
Like...
I would find a way to do to twist things, subtle retcons to the past, while also then building upon like this new stuff and like just throwing new ridiculous nonsense. It was like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, man, there was this whole area over here. Look, Advan was the Blood Wolf King.
No, not a thing.
Yep.
I would have to like skew the setting so it's like either like way before everything or like way after everything that's already been done. So like you can like try and interfere with stuff, but like nobody knows who those people are.
See, that's what's funny about it is like you would try to set it up this way and then like, yeah, all right, we do this. Oh my god, they got hit with a lich and sent back in time. Okay. Advent and Yaka are traveling together up in the north near a monastery. How strange.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, tying it into my own stories.
But to redirect all of this, because as you can see, there are a lot of other sessions that are happening now on the channel. I kind of like put the idea out there and everyone thought it might be, a good idea, because I think it's a good idea. We are trying to work in a network name. So right now it's just me, Queen, and Paul going over like, I feel like it's hundreds of different just like random like catchy names for a network.
We'll say dozens.
But I feel like it's hundreds from the amount of like messages that keep coming in there every day. But after we kind of like condense it and come up with a list, more or less, we're going to put it forward to the cast members to kind of like come up with a general consensus on a vote of which name they would like the best. Obviously, it'll already be from a list of names that us three have kind of like collectively said, okay, cool, we could be called this. And then we'll put it in their hands, and then whatever they end up picking, we'll make the Twitch channel, we'll make the YouTube channel, we'll make the Instagram channel, the Twitter channel, all the channels, so that they all say the same thing. And then we'll start streaming from that channel. And obviously, like on Judgy GM, I'll have it to where whenever they're streaming, it'll automatically show up on my page, so that if you do come here by accident, you can just like redirect over there. But essentially, because we're all different DMs and most of us stream, rather than confuse the viewers of like where they need to be on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, wherever, it'll all be in one place. And I think it'll be pretty cool, especially once we get like things up and running. Like obviously there's going to be hiccups, there's going to be like a lot of learning as we go, but I'm looking forward to it, honestly. Like I kind of like the idea, because then it's not everyone coming to Judgies, or it's not everyone going to FNHs, or it's not everyone going to Queens. It's all of us sharing it together, and all of us telling different stories. So I'm super excited, and I'm glad Glittering Elf is excited, and I'm glad everybody else who might be excited that hasn't said they're excited yet are excited. I'll stop talking. But look forward to that in the future, because we're still working on it. But especially, it'll probably definitely be up before Queen starts her campaign, but within the next few months, just just know that there might be a slight change in things as far as.
I think as of right now, I believe we kind of set the loose goal of September, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So like roughly around September, it'll be everywhere, like he's saying. It'll be in the Discords. It'll be on all our individual Twitter accounts, and we'll be. I know I'll be promoting it pretty heavily on my end, and kind of just doing what we can to boost it as best we can for everybody to see, because we do want this.
Salty Stormtrooper! Oh my gosh!
Hey!
Thank you, Laura.
So yeah, that'll be us kind of going forward with it. But with these campaigns, there will be a little bit of what's the situation, or what's the word I want to use? Some learning curves, some bumps in the road, especially with everybody kind of streaming in this network style that I personally have never done in my 2 years on Twitch. I don't know if Queen or Stacks have done it either, so.
No, I'm fairly new to streaming myself. My 1 year streaming anniversary is actually coming up in August.
Ooh. Mine's coming up soon here as well. I only have the Fable 42 experience for the whole network type streaming, but as we move forward, I'll try and like relay as much as that over and see what works for us. Just so.
Well, what I mean by that is more of the us talking about it and us the slight variations in styles, as far as not just with our DM styles, but also with the art styles for the campaign, the layouts for the campaign, the amount of polish that goes into these things, because obviously we all want them to look a certain way. We're all going to try to make them as good as humanly possible, while also realizing that my setup is going to be different than Stax' setup, which is then going to be different than Queen's setup. Kevin doesn't have a setup, so he's going to be solely reliant on Judgy's setup. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's gonna be very interesting going forward how it all works out.
I enjoy to see the personal notes that each DM tries to like bring to their particular stream.
Yeah, so like what we're saying here, it's making it work, making it seem like, making it professional while also making it still feel like it's us, without seeming like we're a carbon copy of every other D&D Twitch channel out there.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to be, throwing up on YouTube. Hopefully we're also going to be getting clips from the streams to kind of throw up on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. So, all these things. So we are going to try to make it like a fully immersive thing to where even if you miss an episode, you can catch it later on the YouTube, or if there's a really funny bit from the episode, we highly recommend you guys clip those out. If there's a funny interaction, if I make just a really terrible roll and I'm just sitting there with my face in my hands for a second, clip that out. It's just like when the dice hate you, rolling with advantage. I rolled a 1 and a 2. It's little things like that are great for content just outside of Twitch, but it's also great for other people to see, and it's gonna be what makes our games, our table, specifically ours.
Yeah.
What he said.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Without reiterating.
Yeah. Just to piggyback on that real quick.
To piggyback on the piggyback. I hate that. So we're just gonna transition. As you might notice in the calendar here, there's a couple of shows that are showing up in different colors. Just to go over that real quick. The yellow ones are sessions that are not currently streamed. They are ones that we have just like home games, kind of. I think 2 of them are ones that Queen is the DM for, and 1 is one that I am the DM for. But they are just like chill sessions. Some of them are closed, some of them are open. If you want to try and hop in anything, just like message either myself or Queen, and we'll either redirect you to the other one if it's the other one that's the DM. Either way. And then you'll notice that there is one in kind of like a bluish, purplish color. Legends of Noia?
Noia.
Okay.
I'm just saying Noia. Like that is probably not how it's supposed to be pronounced, but I'm dictating that is how it's
You're the
said.
DM, so however you say it, it's kind of how it's said. Just say. Anyways, that show for the time being will be aired on twitch.tv/FNHPaul. So Thursdays on August 12th and 26th, be sure to stop by at his channel from 12 to 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's usually how all the shows are currently listed presently, just so we're all on the same page. But whenever we switch over to our network, obviously that'll change over, and we'll make sure that we're all at the right place. Other than that, I'm gonna go over some recaps here shortly for some of the sessions. I'll talk about some other upcoming sessions. And yeah, also I kind of got an idea for this new cool sword idea that might become a canon weapon.
Before we get into that, can I just float something out real quick? Queen, my dear, my sweet summer child, how much arm twisting would it take for one-shot Mondays to become streamable?
Put her on the spot like that.
Yeah, damn right, live on air too.
So, okay, to back up Queen before she answers, the one-shot Mondays were kind of like a secondary. She wants to DM more, but as with DMing goes, you kind of want to feel comfortable in your shoes before you start like streaming in your shoes, if that makes sense. So, essentially, it was a furry situation campaign that was originally a one-shot that turned into a campaign because it like meshed so well. And then Queen was like, I want to just like DM more. So I was like, yeah, we can like work you in on the opposite days of Monday and not stream them for the time being, because like instead of worrying about like setup and all this other stuff, we just come and hang out and stream. So, I mean, do the session. So I understand why they aren't streamed currently, but I'll let Queen say if she wants to stream it in the future or not.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but like I said, I kind of like do want to get the player's permission first before I do. And if I do, then I want to be like, okay, well, how are we going to stream this? Are you guys comfortable being on camera? Are you not being comfortable on camera? I want to get the okay first before I go ahead and do that. But otherwise, I would be more than happy to.
Now, I do have a follow-up question to this.
Mm.
As far as we had kind of briefly talked about this whenever we were talking about doing like TikToks for the channel, how would you feel about taking, because you record the one-shots, correct?
Yes. Although, unfortunately, the latest one got corrupted.
Yeah. No snake boy, no danger noodle for anyone. You'll have to wait. But
out of context,
how would you feel
really
about doing
weird.
the danger noodle? Yeah.
He's talking about Yanti, everyone, just so.
He's a danger
So we're
noodle.
tracking the snake boy.
In context, still weird. Look,
It's still weird, yes.
Stefan Spen the Seventh
Sorry.
is a lovely snake boy
Yeah, okay.
who has a speech impediment that he's a little embarrassed about. Anyway, but how would you feel about doing, possibly doing what was it? Oh God, I'm forgetting what it was called. low tech or low grade, low quality animations
Oh,
where
That
it's like
would
the
be-
characters acting it out.
That would definitely be something I would be interested in. Honestly, there are so many like things that this party that the party does, and I'm just like, God damn it, I wish I could animate this because this is gold right here.
Because I mean, that's the thing. Like, for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's most of the time you see them a lot of them on TikTok, where there's just like it's just line work, and most of the time it's like just a handful of emotions on the characters' faces, and it's literally just them being dragged across the screen as they're like talking or moving as things are happening. So yes, I just want to see our halfling barbarian on pork chop writing in, "Who needs help?"
Who needs to die? But yeah, no, that would definitely be something I would truly be interested in as well. To just have those scenes come to life with this, line work animation.
Yeah,
Queen,
and that's
actually,
the
we might
thing.
be
These
able
are
to-
all.
Sorry.
What's up?
I said,
No, go
Queen,
for it.
actually, we might be able to like work something out between you and I, so that it's not like excessive amounts of art that we have to draw. But if we draw it like chibi enough or like loose line worky enough,
Yeah,
to
it's
where
it's
you,
just
like-
sketchy. It's just enough to where you can tell what character is what. Like Snake Boy, I'm not expecting to be like super detailed. Like I'd be very surprised if you guys drew more than one lower half for that guy. There'd be two, coiled
so you know,
and
if we did draw
uncoiled.
him, there would be like a little line coming up, and it would be Snake Boy, and it would be spelled SNEK and then BOIE.
Snack
Would that
boy.
Snake Boy, is that what we would?
Yeah, because
better yet, just do that for the legs.
Memed,
Just-
they're like, I'm Snake, and it's like SNEK, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
I'm a snack. But yeah, Snake. Yeah, just Snake Boy. But like that's where his legs are. Don't actually draw the thing. It's just Snake Boy. Like that's just a box, so that way you guys don't have to animate that or draw that over and over again. When no step on Snake. But yeah, like it would. And obviously, I'm saying this as somebody with very little to no real artistic ability.
it's usually how the
outside
ideas
of-
get put out there. Not the person
Look,
actually
I am-
doing the work. Just like, it would be really cool if
Wow.
we had. I'm like, oh my god. you don't
Okay,
know how much work
okay,
that is.
hold on. Hold on. That sound real fucking insulting.
No,
Like,
it's not an insulting thing. It's just like a artist, creationist type. We're used to hearing these types there, where people are like, "Oh, can you just draw this thing? Because you know how to draw," but they don't like know what it takes to get to that point.
Queen, did that sound insulting to you, or am I just being crazy?
I don't know.
I see what Stacks is saying.
But it's. a
I
thing
knew what
that
he's saying,
artists
but he was
hear
just
all-
like, it's like, yeah, that's how it always is. The person who's not doing the work is the one who's always offering up
Yeah.
suggestions. Like,
yeah.
Kinda
damn,
true.
man.
But it's so true. Like
It
from
is,
the
it
artist.
You wait,
Salty, can you back us up?
don't get it twisted. I cannot. I obviously, like I said, I can't draw, but what I can do, as in writing, world building, talking, I feel like I do that fairly well. And I don't get mad if somebody wants me to record something in a different way.
Well,
But then again, they're not the one doing the recording, and I understand that the art takes more time and
yeah.
like effort and skill. It does take a little more time, but it is also difficult doing voices and
shit. If I could draw
shit.
as fast as I can, like, act as the character, then yeah, it would be like a different game changer. But
You just keep it sketchy. And honestly, you don't even have to keep drawing them over and over. You can make like 10 of them, and then you just swap them out.
well, yeah, that's usually what they do. Again, that's future us.
See, look, salty out there, draw real
Won't
fast.
look good.
Once again, though, low quality animation. That's all we're going for.
Gosh, I can't.
Maybe have one super high quality image of like, who is that? Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, and then go wah, into like them be transforming into like this is what they look like. Here's what they look like now. Animation versus still. Once again, great TikTok. In my brain, that's a funny as fuck TikTok. I'm gonna need it if we end up getting the artwork done. Have my guy edit that together because, god damn it, that's funny in my brain.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I think you were just gonna start rolling into some recaps of the.
Yeah, probably eventually here, most likely. I haven't done a dungeon talk in like a hot minute. I don't think I've done any this month. That's how hot the minute's been. I got a lot of recaps to do. I gotta talk about coffee. And then I gotta talk about coffee, probably. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
But yes, it's gonna be great. Make sure y'all come by tomorrow because we're having our Tales of Diademia like full-blown Saturday sessions this month. We're doing a lot. It's a lot.
Oh gosh, yeah. Somehow coffee just ends up in Final Fantasy VII.
I swear, if she did, I'd be like, running with it, I'm doing it.
Oh no.
Even Final Fantasy VII? Yeah, because it's coffee. I mean, if you get banished, there's a chance you can get banished to like a complete different realm. Oh gosh.
That would so you're trying to tell me that the Final Fantasy world is a realm in D&D?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the. I don't. You know what? I don't know shit about Final Fantasy, and I don't know fuck about.
I would lean more towards it allowing it than most other things because they've even like in Final Fantasy 14, the online one, they've incorporated outside sources that are not Final Fantasy related that just show up in the game for promotional sake and also for like furthering lore's sake. They have like a little mini event related around them. So I can see like, you know, coffee showing up and be like, who are you? And then that'd be it.
Oh.
Oh god, I want to hear coffee
when
and
Belle's trying to make her way to find the Moogle farm, and she comes into an old hag coffee instead.
Okay, you gotta explain what that is.
I'll explain when I do the Final Fantasy recap. It's fine, but I know that Queen's probably leaving soon, and Paul's gonna leave me soon. So I wanted to make sure y'all had a chance to talk about the things that y'all wanted to talk about before I just like
go into recap mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
Well,
I'm good.
Also, there was something else I wanted to ask you about. Something. I'll try and think.
He's starting something. There is, because we talked about, Diademia Aftermath is everything with Diademia in it and or Sage Mist is all you. So Kevin is doing Death Savers, and you kind of set up the plot, or not the plot, but like set up the hook for that, or like the general setting?
No, I'll do a little session here in a bit to show everybody just kind of like what to expect from Death Savers. I'll also do like the preview art for Tobin of where like I'm going with, even though I still have to do highlights. But essentially I'll keep all these shows that aren't out yet a little bit of mystery, so that when people show up next month, they'll be like super excited. Because this past month, just so everyone's tracking, we've done 2 sessions of Death Savers, just so we can kind of like get some of the kinks out before we actually start streaming and kind of see how our characters would get along with each other. But when we actually start the sessions, we're going to start from the beginning, not necessarily the beginning. beginning, but we're going to start from a smaller number of party members and kind of like work our way out in each episode, just so we can kind of like focus in and actually start doing this like really not so much in-depth, but like an in-depth character development for everyone involved. It's going to be, I think, a party of 5 plus Kevin's character, so it's not that big of a party. So it'll allow us to all kind of like interact with each other and kind of get to know each other on a more personal note. But I am looking forward to Death Savers. I am looking forward to Legends of Noia. I'm looking forward to if Coffee's going to kill everybody. Like, I'm looking forward to so much stuff. It's just crazy.
You're looking forward to the games you don't have any control over.
Well, no, I'm in control of the Diademia Aftermath and the Tales of Diademia. Like, to see it actually like come into play is like so much different than me planning it out, because as y'all know, I kind of messaged y'all last month to see who would be available for which weekends, because I kind of knew I was going to do something like this. I just didn't know who would be available for which dates, so I didn't know exactly like which direction to push everybody in. But so far,
Oh, would you look at that? I can't come tomorrow. I'm busy.
It's fine. I'll just
She's gotta reorganize her sock drawer. It's fine. Like it's such, you know how long that takes. Socks.
So the weapon that I was talking about, the sword. What would y'all think if you came across a sword that once per day allowed you to add an extra, and I'm looking at this sword here, an extra 1d20 or a 1d4 or a 1d6 or a 1d8 or a 1d12 or a 1d10, not a 1d100, sorry, to any of your rolls. It's like such a powerful weapon.
That sounds broken.
Hey, Judgy, you remember Yaka's great axe?
Yeah, except Yaka's great axe kept hitting that way persistently, but when you have to choose.
Yeah, if I get to choose, then why would I ever pick anything other than 20?
No, you only can use one of them a day. Like one. There's only one d20 a day, and there's one d6.
So then why would I? So
only
I
use
would
it
start.
once.
I would go from 20, 12. I would literally start at 20 and work my way down, and
Well,
then when I
you
get
say
down to the
that,
4, just
but-
scrap the sword.
When it comes to like, do I want to hit this little squishy guy? I might only need a d6 extra. Or do I want to make sure I hit this boss dude? Might want to add in that d20.
Now, are we talking that on attack and damage rolls, or just attack rolls?
Just to hit.
Okay, that balances a lot.
Yeah, I don't want.
I thought you were about to say that damage. I was like, bro, you realize we can one-shot shit, right?
That's just
2 attacks per turn with, like, depending on the character. Like, God forbid you put that in fucking Milo's hand. Like, which Milo is dead because, that campaign's dead.
No, it's not.
It's dead.
Milo. It's on hiatus, Paul.
It's dead, yeah.
It's only on hiatus because
I love how Queen's like, it's not dead. It is on hiatus.
Lilith, on the other hand, spoiler alert. Poor Lilith. Who was your female tabaxi that you had in that campaign? Well, it was supposed to be like a one-shot that day.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a one-shot.
It was definitely a one-shot for Lilith. But
Are you talking Smoke?
Is that her name?
Was it Smoke?
Was it? Are you talking my Tabaxi Bard?
I don't know if she was a bard. She might have been a bard.
I think she was. Yeah, because she had. Because I didn't have anything that was going to do any real damage. Oh, Rumble. Sorry, it was Rumble.
That's it.
Because she had nothing but thunder and lightning spells. So I was like, fucking Rumble. I was real big into having a theme, and I still like having themes with my characters, which you have burned me for in the past. Where it's like, my guy has nothing but lightning spells. All right, cool. Hey, this thing's immune to lightning. It's like, you fucking douche.
Salty for the most part, yes, but also no. Tales of Diademia was always a campaign. Diademia Aftermath was a created campaign based on the fact that we had to work around scheduling because Moto couldn't work or was working weekends now, so he couldn't work or he couldn't stream on Saturdays like he was in the past. And then Death Saver's always been a campaign. Legends of Noia was a one-shot that turned into a campaign before the one-shot actually became a thing.
Because yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty much that's 100% what happened.
Final Fantasy was always a campaign. A furry situation started out as a one-shot, shifted into a campaign. One-shot Mondays is technically all one-shots because you can literally put in a new character each week and not have to worry, but that's what they're like designed around. It's like a continual story, but each session's its own like little one-shot. So
a rotating cast of characters.
Yes.
Old Country, actually One-Shot Mondays reminds me of like G.I. Joe, where they would just have like different G.I. Joes on each episode.
Exactly.
But,
all right, Judgy, I gotta get out of here because I got my own stuff I gotta go take care of. But thank you so much for having me on, and God, I can't wait to just be a dork some more with some of this.
I know.
Except Tales of Diademia. I ain't gonna lie. Tales of Diademia is getting real sad. That one's getting real rough for me.
It's so dark.
There's just so much lore, and there's so many things. I just want to be James Bond.
No, it's okay, Fang. It's okay, Fang. Coffee's gonna kill you. It's fine.
I mean, fucking swing away. You act like he hasn't died before.
That would be like sweet escape. But anyways,
I almost did. Never mind. Spoilers.
So
all right. Love you all.
I will catch you
later.
Bye.
Queen, did you have anything?
I mean, I can talk about the campaign I am working on currently.
Yeah, give us a little taste, a little bite.
Okay.
Because that one's gonna have Purple
So-
Tina in it, right? So we're gonna have someone
Yes.
new as well. Okay.
Yes. So everybody, I am making a campaign currently. It's in the works. What did I name it? I think it was like Race Against Droira. That's the name of the
I feel like
country.
The country before you like say the country, and you're like, "This is the country," and then you say it out loud, and you're like, "Fuck."
But yeah, so the premise of it is Droira is a country that is protected by a silver dragon guardian. She protects the country from the horde of orcs that want to take this place over. The dragon has been able to keep this country safe for, I want to say, for thousands of years? Until one day, the dragon disappears. And now it's a race against time to see what happened to the dragon, and if there's any way to stop the orc horde from trying to take over the country. So that's kind of like the whole base of it. Like I said, it's still in the works, but I'm pretty excited for it. And I'm excited for all of my players that will be joining in on the session.
Actually, I have to talk to you about that afterwards, because I might only go with one character, but I also, so the healer that I made, I just love the concept of what his spiritual weapon is.
Oh gosh.
Just the voodoo doll appearing and just whapping people is like the best thing in my life. But just to make it easier on you, I might go with like one or the other, but we'll talk about that more here in a bit, because there's always like the one-shot Mondays where I can try out these other characters and like see.
Yeah, and see how you like them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we'll probably talk about that more here eventually. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to not hold you up, but also make sure that we got as much queen essence as we could.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
But
I can stay till the end.
am enjoying being in your sessions, my dear.
That makes me happy to hear.
It's like the best because, like, okay, so it's no secret that I've been, you know, on the DM train for a bit, and also in like way too many sessions, and it's only gonna increase because why not? But it's such a different, like, freeing feeling to be a player again. And since I started, like, way back when I did the first campaign, there wasn't a lot of chances for me. Like, yeah, Paul did like a one shot every once in a while, but there wasn't a lot of chances for me to play as a consistent player, like in an actual campaign, like me actually be in the campaign, that didn't like immediately die out or whatever. So it's gonna be fun to be able to play as players, because as you probably know, Queen, I make some really eccentric characters. Like I take the concept and I just go like another 1,000 yards or something, just to make them like way more overly complex than they probably need to be in that moment. But for me, it's like intriguing if the character has multiple layers, like right out the gate.
Yep.
But I also like characters like how you probably see with Tobin, that will like kind of like be an onion, maybe not an onion, like lettuce leaf, and like peel back layers.
Right.
As the sessions go on, so it's fun. It's cool. I'm not addicted. You're addicted. It's fine. Our next Monday's one shot. Yes. Although this Monday is Diademia Aftermath, so it's like, with most of these sessions being on 2-week intervals, a lot of us are going to be going through withdrawals because we're going to be like waiting for this one session to happen or this next session to happen. But hopefully we'll be able to get enough going to where everyone kind of has enough to get them through the week, hopefully. But yeah, it's fun. I love it a lot.
It's very fun. I definitely enjoy all the D&D shenanigans we get into. Oh,
like, I can't
goodness.
even play it off because all of us are like our one shot Monday, the first one that we did, like literally Nessia talked the barbarian down. Like all we had to do was leave. We just had to leave. But what happened? We all know what happened. We killed all the barbarians. Every last one. And it's like, but we were good. We were good. We could
Oh,
just
yeah.
left.
Yep, that happened. You can't make this shit up, boys and girls.
Like, it's so amazing because you're playing as your character in that moment. And what will your character do? Like, literally, that's what you're saying right before it's your turn. And you're like, yeah, I would charge.
Oh,
I would like
no.
to rage. I would like to fire a fireball into their face. But
But hey, I mean, like,
still want to do it.
but think of it this way, like, it's kind of like interesting how that played out, because now that all the barbarians are dead, the leader kind of was just like, all right, well, there's nothing left for me here. And now she's a member of the guild. Like, that wouldn't have happened if you guys walked away.
This is true. This is very
Like, it's interesting how things kind of work out that way.
And it, like,
You know?
it adds like levels of story depth to, even though these are like one shots technically, it still adds like levels of story depth because we had the easy solution and we still decided to go like hard right. Like super hard right. And
Like,
it was
literally
only
the
because
answer was like flashing in front of you, like, here, like the point, like lit up arrow right over here. Yes. And then all of you were like, except for Nissia, bless her heart, everyone's just like, nah, we're gonna go this way. You know?
Yes, it would make great TV shorts. On the next episode of The Dumpster Fire. Like, literally, I'm pretty sure all of our campaigns are just secretly called The Dumpster Fire. We're just not aware of it yet.
No.
But that's how it is! That's how it is! We give you the easy and y'all still decide to create chaos.
That is fair.
It's fine. It's fine. Because if Queen was in my shoes, she would have done the same thing.
I mean,
These are all just Alindy's dreams. Oh no.
oof. But I like the one shots though, I will have to say I'm having so much fun with them. And I already have quite a few ideas for one shots coming up. So y'all are in for quite a treat.
It's great.
It'll be good.
It's totally fine.
None of you are ready.
See, now you're learning my phrases. It's fine, they're not trademarked.
Odin the Godslayer. Oh no.
Oh no! Technically!
I mean, technically, Karia was the one that killed the god. I love Nessia Moon Elf. I love her to death. She's like the sweetest beaten owl child, and I love her to death.
I feel like the Bendit, it's almost like we're gonna show up on Mondays and no one's gonna tell which character that they're using, and then it's just gonna be like a free-for-all of like, do they mesh together? Or is this gonna just be a TPK? Let's find out. Okay, here we go. Which, from what I heard y'all doing the last session, I thought y'all were gonna die, because y'all didn't have a healer, y'all didn't have like nothing. And I was
they were fine. They had a potion. It's fine.
A potion? Oh my goodness.
They were fine.
It's okay. You don't have to worry about healing if everything's dead, right? Right?
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Blood-hungry monsters. Yeah, more or less. Y'all murder hobos.
Oh,
Good
no.
gracious.
When you're a step away from death and you still choose to kill.
Oh no.
That's when you know you're playing your character. Oh god. Oh, this is I can't even. But I'm trying to think what else.
Recaps.
Yes. So recaps. And if Queen, if you have to hop out at any time, just let me know. We'll make
All
sure
right.
to say hi. So let's start with some chaos. So in the last episode of Diademia Aftermath, because this one's coming out Monday, we had our crew trying to find Joseph and Mei Lee after they kind of like were taken away into this different realm. They ended up starting the session with Alindy playing a card game called like Save, Injure, Kill or something. I don't know, something to that effect.
It was save, injure, kill.
Yeah, so each round it went around and each person had to use one of their cards to like save, injure, or kill someone in a predetermined group. So anyways, Alindy didn't know the rules. He ended up playing anyway because he's stupid. So he joins, and it turns out the persons that he's saving, injuring, and killing is his own crew. It goes around and he tries obviously to, you know, injure and kill himself, but that's not how you play the game. And just because of short end of the stick, Uriah didn't really get any of the saves out there. I'm pretty sure he just got kills, but basically What happened was, Uriah gets attacked by these like direwolf creatures. I don't know. I can't even remember. Anyways, he dies. Arya gets saved. Rhodey, I forget what happened to Rhodey. I don't think she got injured. And Arlo gets like injured. So overall, Alindi's trying to like save his crewmates and failing miserably, and they're all in these various areas. Arya's trying to not get attacked by skeleton bones. Rhodey's trying to not to like fall face first in acid. Arlo is falling in the sky and getting attacked by wind, and obviously Uriah is getting attacked by werewolves. Anyways, he ends up using up all his cards and somehow comes across the Mind Flayer lady that was in the Shadowfell area, and she informs him that, you know, you can control this. This is technically your dominion. The Harbinger technically should follow your lead. So he goes to the Harbinger. It obviously like wants to eat his face or something. I don't know. Alindi does as Alindi does, but he ends up making it like abide by him. So he saves his crew. They get out of there, and then they have to still find Joseph. So Lindy realizes that because the plane was shifted from where it was, like that underground area to the manor for the Riviere Manor, wasn't there. So he plane shifted his crew to that area. They made their way down, came down some stairs, and eventually came across this very large creature. Upon further notice, they realized it was Joseph as a werewolf, and he was eating into a very unconscious Bailey. Luckily, Rhodey was able to locate this crystal orb thingy that had like an image of a moon in it. She destroyed the orb. It did shock back, which caused the moon image to fade away, and then Joseph turned back into his human form. Trying to get out of this area, they had to make a choice. Alindi decided to take all of the death saves that they would have equally spread out, and I think Alindi goes down, if I'm not mistaken. He doesn't die, but it's a bit rough because he has to make like, I don't know how many saves. However many.
Oh, and Alindi proclaimed his love for Mei Li as well.
Oh yeah, Mei Li gave him a kiss on the cheek. It was cute.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cute.
Yep. Yep.
Canon. So all this is happening. They eventually start to make their way out after, you know, Alindi doesn't die for like the 1,000th time. And on their way back, Rhodey is carrying the very much unconscious Alindi to the airship, and she gets contacted by the Blood Wolf Queen, who drops like the sauce. She like spills the tea and gives Rhodey a complete other aspect to this secondary story that she didn't quite know about. Apparently, the Blood Wolf Queen is cursed, which I'm pretty sure they all knew about. However, the curse can be broken by a young girl named Azalith, who is also known as Coffee. And the Blood Wolf Queen doesn't know Coffee, like, by that name, and the crewmates don't know Azalith by that name. So piecing it together, eventually they're kind of able to like ideally summarize that it might be Coffee, and the session kind of ends with Coffee and Mei Li falling out of a portal, which was a weird moment because Mei Li vanishes and then she appears again from the portal. But they fall through a portal and land in that area on the dumpster fire. Meanwhile, we fast forward to Tales of Diademia last weekend. So for those that don't know, there is a couple of events that are happening at the same time. So Zotair wants to send the crew, well, the Tales of Diademia crew, to kind of infiltrate those areas and make sure that they're all taken care of. They'll probably get taken care of anyway, but this way they can kind of have like leeway as far as like what gets done. So Fang and Dargo end up going to the north area, which is Fort Demon's Creek, and there they are able to come across a young assassin like interrogator named Acris, who is interrogating this human male. And when they arrive, he informs them that this person is not who he claims to be. Through further analysis, Fang is also able to understand that this Acris person, this drow young male, is infected with the same kind of like mind flayer curse that Pixel was in season 1. And for everyone who watched season 1 will know that Pixel was thrown to a dragon as a sacrifice in order for the dragon to not eat everybody's faces. So a second chance of redemption, maybe, or a second chance at, death, also maybe. So Acris is able to inform them that he can transfer their minds into this human person's body, and they can kind of find out who he is for themselves. He decides to transfer Fang and Coffee on the note that if they don't come out, Dargo is to immediately decapitate this Acris kid. Just putting that out there.
And just to let all of you know, Coffee was teleported there.
Oh yeah. That session, last session, started out with Coffee arriving at the Tahale place. And she is with Mei-Li, which is what the previous episode showed her, like, hugging, getting to know Mei-Li because that's her best friend.
Right.
And in T-Ways, Coffee is kind of like shown into this like white light area and this white space, and she's contacted by her deity, Brigitte, and she informs her that if Coffee wants to save her friends, but also see Joseph, why did I say Joseph? That was so weird. If she also wants to see Joseph, she needs to make sure that she attends both of these events for some reason, because if she doesn't, they're probably going to die, which rightly so. So her deity transfers a very confused Coffee to the Fort Demon's Creek, and she is able to encounter Fang in it. Fast forward, they meet Acris, blah, 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 blah. We're there. So they go into this human's mind, and they are greeted by somebody that Coffee quite remembers. It is a much deceased Vladimir Riviere, who, for those that do not know, it's Vladdy the Daddy, the hunk of a man in the first season of Tales of Diademia, who was murdered brutally by Orgy and the crew, dropping down those
listen, Coffee did not kill
as soon as she knew that it was Vladimir, she stopped her attacks. But that's neither here nor there. Vladimir was dead for a while, at least over a year. Anyways, he's much in the mind of this person's body, and it doesn't seem like this other person is there at all. So now Vladimir, in this consciousness, is able to convince Fang to not kill him long enough for him to work with Fang and the others to accomplish, various goals, because the person he is assuming is Baston Alsatian, the brother of Davik, who Fang and Davik just don't get along at all. And he's also the rightful next heir to the throne of Triperia. So they come out of the mind. They realize that Acris informs them that they are not alone anymore. And Acris, Coffee, Dargo, and Fang decide to go upstairs. They also have the prince there, Prince Dyer, who's also was there the whole time. I just forgot to mention his name. He's the Leonin from Scion, the city, magic stuff. Anyways, Prince Dyer decides to watch over the body of Bastin Alsatian, to ensure that if anything happens, he would at least be able to get the man out of there. The four make it upstairs, and they are immediately attacked by Asuma and her crew of like Death Knights or whatever you want to call them. A battle ensues like no other, and they are not holding any punches. Like, Coffee goes down and they're still hitting her. Like, girl, get up. As soon as they realized that Coffee could heal, they were like prime target. Anyways, Coffee is barely able to make it up. Turns into a phoenix, and then things start to heat up. No pun intended. But also in the process, some acid gets thrown and Fang almost dies. Like, shit is getting real. So real. Barely able to make it out. Asuma teleports away. We're not sure where she went. And the rest of her crew, like, they die. They get brutally murdered. Anyways, there's a moment when Phoenix Coffee is given a choice in her mind of mercy or death for the Kinku, and she chooses death, and the Kinku lights on fire, brutally dies, which is fine. You know, they were gonna do the same thing to them, right? Anyways, fight ends. They barely make it to Fang in time to like give him a potion so that he doesn't die, and then he gets up, and then they're like, you know, let's not do that again. So they make their way down to see if Asuma like teleported into the area to try and like get to Bastin or anything, but she wasn't there. What they do find is these wisps, shadows going into Coffee. Now, during this process, Coffee is contacted by none other than the Blood Wolf Queen. Present day, however you want to put it, she informs Coffee that because of her recent choices, the title is now hers. Coffee is now the Blood Wolf Queen. But what does this mean exactly? Coffee doesn't have a chance to freaking understand what's happening because she's immediately transported to the second location that is happening at the same exact time. And that's what's going to happen tomorrow. That's why you need to be here. Because you need to find out what coffee is going to show up Monday on Diademia Aftermath. Because right now, it's not looking like a good coffee.
No, it's not.
Like a very, 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 very bad coffee.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And
yes.
it's not good. Because the thing that we know about the curse, least that we can assume, is that it feeds on negative energy. Like, a lot. And for those that do not know how much negative energy Coffee has been like brewing since season 1 of Tales of Diademia,
she's been through some shit.
Y'all best get ready, cause I don't know if y'all seen the Dark Phoenix saga or whatever, but it ain't holding a candle to Coffee when she scored. Like, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Nobody's ready. Like, no. I'm not ready.
Coffee ain't ready, okay?
And
she's the fucking Blood Wolf Queen, and she ain't even ready.
Over. Saturday still has to happen. We still have to figure out what final state Coffee is going to be in when she arrives on the dumpster fire. Yeah, and poor Uriah is just like, he's being dragged along to all this because the only like connecting factor is Joseph, and even Joseph's not awake right now. So like, crazy Coffee is gonna show up, and like, who knows what's gonna hit the fan? Like, we don't know. No one's ready. Also, sorry for this session being a little bit over an hour, but we got a lot to talk about, and we're just getting started. So we talked about Diademia Aftermath, good stuff. We talked about Tales of Diademia, also good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Final Fantasy. So this past Thursday, I kind of fell asleep. Like, I was in a coma when it was time to stream for some
No kidding.
Queen, if you blow up my phone like you did, we're gonna have some words. You ever wake up and your phone's been blown up by the same person? It's like, at what point do you get the hint that I'm not gonna answer? Girl.
I mean, But with that, Judgy DM, I do have to get going.
Okay, sweetie. I will talk to you later. Have fun tonight.
Thanks. Thank you for having me, and I will talk to you all next time.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Let's see. I probably can just do that. And let's see. We are going to talk about Final Fantasy. Chaos ensued. So in the last episode, our heroes were informed that they need to get on a train to make it to a Shinra building and find out more information about this last ancient that the Shinra have come across. They make it to the train station. They get encountered by this young little girl who pets Bite because she's excited, and she is approached by her brother, who is holding a Moogle, which of course catches the attention of Mel. And he informs, well, I think the little girl informs them that they are the present owners of a Moogle farm where they kind of take in lost Moogles and things of that nature and make sure that they have a home and someplace nice to lay their pom-poms. Before Mel could even ask the guy his name, they are, well, the doors to the train are about to close. So John, being John, just picks Mel up because Mel tries to go for the door, and so this little girl, but they bump into each other, and John, being John, he just picks up Mel and puts her in the train, and then the train doors close, and then Mel watches as the little girl, the Moogle, and the cute boy or whatever drift away, missing their current ride. So on the train, John is approached by this girl who gives him a flyer that says something to the effect of reunion or something like that. I can't remember. He, goes over to her and's what's this? And she's like, it's the reunion. Duh. Okay. So John, being John, is okay. I don't know what that is. He also asks the girl what her name is. She says it's 18. And then he looks away for a second and looks back, and she's not there. And then he tries to tell the people that's there present. Did they see the girl? No girl. John's going crazy. We also won't mention to the fact that Mel and John can't really make eye contact right now because Mel saw John naked at the end of the previous episode because he just decided to come out on the balcony in his birthday suit with a weapon in his hand because the airship was arriving. It was the whole thing. It was messy. It was crazy. It was John. So there's that whole tension. They are informed by Yuffie that they need to get off the train soon, and sooner rather than actually making it to the final stop, because you don't want to arrive at the Shinra building and be like, hey, we're also going to sneak into said building. So eventually they are able to jump off with nothing but falling from the train. And then at the last second, Annette pops out and they all land safely because Yuffie likes to be climactic or whatever. They make their way up to this tower where it looks like servicing area is for all the people that might work on generators or the sewage system, the alleyway that they go through. Anyways, they go through, they climb all the way to the top. Bite makes it up there first. He informs them that it's safe after he encounters a young Yuffie there. They make their way up. Yuffie says, which way do they want to go in? And they said on top of the roof. So then she shoots over this freaking grappling hook thing, and then they string over, and then they come back, and then they string over, and they come back, and then they string over, or whatever. They all make it over to the top of the roof. They go in through the door. Some find it more difficult than others because the door locks itself after a little bit after Bite and Mel make it in, and then John makes it in, and then Laura tries to make it in, but then somehow gets knocked out, or John, I can't remember. Anyways, Laura's on top of the roof. The stairs are sliding down, whole traps and stuff are going off. They're trying to make it through stuff, and John's getting electrocuted. It's a whole thing. John's on level 95. Mel and Bite are on level 90. I'm paraphrasing. I don't even know if these are right anyways, they're on different levels. Lore is able to go down the fire escape and then make her way to a window, which John is able to help her in. Meanwhile, Bite and Mel are kind of like hacking into the system and making sure that they get to the right areas, because Bite is able to see on the computer that like if they go here in this short amount of time, they can make it through this door, and if they go through this door in this short amount of time, they can like hopefully make it to where they need to go. Meanwhile, while that's happening, they hear noises of footsteps approaching, so they go and hide, as you do. Lore and John make it to this last room just in time. The door closes, and then John sees that little girl again that nobody else sees, and it's a whole thing now because, why not? Finally, Mel and Bite hide. Mel, not so well, bumps into like the locker or something, makes noise. Person comes over. She tries to see who it is, fails also. Luckily, it is Vincent, and he is able to consume both of them into shadow and like transport them to where where John and Lore are, which is like in this really dark room. The lights turn on, boof, because I don't know, plot magic, and they see a person in a canister vial thing, tube, whatever you want to call it, and it's none other than Aerith Gainsborough, the dead ancient from the past that it's a whole thing. So Thursday we were supposed to do the next episode, but obviously I was asleep, so we didn't. Maybe next Thursday we get to find out why the fuck Shinra has Aerith. Maybe we'll find out. So, last Sunday, and probably the Sunday before that, anyways, this month was the debut of Rise of Sage Mist, which is our new Magic Academy taking place in Sage Mist City, or the City of Sage Mist, however you want to call it. And it's pretty cool so far. It has a lot of Harry Potter vibes and any other Magic Academy vibes that you can think of offhand. But so far, the crew's pretty neat. They're doing a lot of stuff that, I probably wouldn't do if I was in a magic school, but that's just me. The last episode ended on such a cliffhanger, it's ridiculous. It was a pre-recorded session, which I think, sadly, this next session that we're recording this Sunday is also going to be a pre-record, because I am playing them in 2-week increments for the time being. We're trying to catch up so that when I am on vacation in September, we still have the VODs that we can play until I get back. And then when I get back fully, hopefully by then we'll have our network, so we'll all be streaming to the same place. We'll be changing Rise of Sage Mist to a weekly thing. That's going to be a whole thing, because then we'll be back and we'll be streaming all the time. Also, just a little forecast, everyone. Tales of Diademia and Diademia Aftermath are going to be consisting of at least another 6 months worth of episodes, probably on a bi-weekly schedule for the time being. After that, Tales of Diademia Season 2 is going to end, and Tales of Diademia, or Diademia Aftermath, is probably going to end. And hopefully we can wrap up everyone's story so that it makes sense. But this is going to leave open. This is going to leave room open for an 8-part miniseries that will lead into campaign 3, which is going to hopefully be a weekly streamed full campaign. And by full campaign, I just mean that it's going to take at least 2 years to 3 years to complete at a weekly interval. We are still trying to figure out which day of the week would be best for this, as well as what time. But that's way in the future. I think 6 months from now, we're going to do that 8 mini series. So it's going to be 2 months every weekend for 2 months. So 8, I'm thinking. And then after that, we're going to pop right into season or campaign 3, and yeah, it's going to be crazy because it's just going to be crazy. Like, I don't even know how to express it in a way that it's just going to be crazy. Much excite, yes, much excite, because I really like the idea of weekly campaigns, because I've been on the Fable 42 for a while now, and you just look forward to it when you know it's happening, like every week, like every Wednesday. You can find me on the Fable 42 as Whisper. And then here this fall, you can find me playing Rhapsody on Fridays and me DMing on Saturday nights for Fate of the Fedor, which is going to be amazing. But yeah, I like the consistency because it really drives the show when you know you can come back the next week. You might end on a cliffhanger, but like, just to put it into perspective, the guys and gals that had to be on the cliffhanger for the Final Fantasy, the last episode, they're now on an even further cliffhanger because now they have to wait even longer. So you can kind of see how it can be a little bit much if it's not weekly. But I also understand how some people they enjoy the bi-weekly portions of everything. But speaking of bi-weekly, the new Death Savers campaign is coming out in August. Be sure to look out for that. It is going to kind of be like, we're not really pirates, but it has a lot of boat warfare. And it also has a pretty interesting plot. And I'm not going to really give anything away, but what I will give away is a preview of some of the art for one of the characters, which I am playing. His name is Tobin, and this is what he's gonna look like, kind of. I just have to add highlights. But essentially, he is a shifter. I will give you this. He is a shifter, paladin, warlock. And there's a little trick to it, which you'll find out in hopefully the first episode, but if not, you'll find out. But there's a little trick to who he is overall. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing him because A, I've never played a shifter before, and then B, I don't think I've played a paladin warlock combo persistent character. Just putting that out there. But yeah, he's gonna be fun. He's really gonna be fun. So look forward to that. I have to do the art for all the other characters as well, and I think I have to draw one more character. And then I'm doing the art for the Legends of Noia. I swear, Paul and Queen, y'all are gonna kill me with these names. But Legends of Noia, I am going to be drawing the artwork for them as well. But as Paul is saying, when we go over to our network, there's going to be a couple of changes and things as we try and streamline everything and make sure that it all looks and kind of like has that like professional look to it. So if you see things kind of a little wompy or loopy, come by and hang out anyway. I mean, podcast sessions are always podcast sessions. So, but yeah, that's I think me talking about almost everything. Like Old Country, that's a home session, and it's kind of like just a couple of us doing literally a 2-hour session every week. And the story's getting pretty good in that. And yeah, it's fun. That's what I'm gonna call it, fun. But as not to keep you all here, because I know you all have very strict schedules or other things that you need to do, we are going to try and find somebody to raid, and then we are going to call it a day. So to not reiterate anything that I've already said, if anyone has any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. I have nothing to do and no schedule, so we will just raid somebody and go from there. But essentially, thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for whoever's castmates who's playing in all these sessions. Like, we couldn't do any of this without you, and we hope that in the future we can continue to provide like a really fun, easygoing session. I mean, stuff might get crazy, but for the most part, like, it's easygoing. And yeah, it's gonna be great because we're gonna do it together. We're gonna do it as a family, and I can't say thank you enough because I know how much I look forward to all this D&D, and I can only imagine how much everybody else looks forward to all this D&D. So, if at any point any of y'all have questions, because I know I'm kind of like wrapping up here relatively quickly, but we have been talking for like an hour and 30 minutes, and normally this is only supposed to be an hour. So, I need it. I can't have enough D&D. I know, like, literally cannot even. I am trying to maximize as much D&D as I can get away with. Just put that out there. But we will catch you all the next time. And yeah, see ya. Take care. Like literally. Also, come by tomorrow because we'll be here at that time. Or that time, Saturday time, and then come by on Sunday in 2 weeks, and then come by Monday, this coming Monday, because it's probably not showing because this is the August calendar, but there is definitely a Diademia Aftermath episode this Monday. So look forward to all that. Look forward to seeing all your lovely faces, and we will see you the next time. Take care. Also, for those who want to stick around, we are going to raid FNH Paul as he does his talk show podcast, Nostalgia on the Rocks. When you arrive, tell him Judgy sent you.